Today I bring you a great free DAW that you probably haven't heard of. Amp Studio has all the basic tools you will need to make music, and it even has some extra tools that are not very common. You know what else is free? Subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. Now, I talked with the developers and they told me this is a DAW aimed more for beginners, but of course that's not exclusive for them. Now, the interesting thing is that this one works in your browser. You don't have to install anything. Well, you have to install the VST companion, but more of that later. You can use as many tracks as you want, audio events, and also you can program MIDI. Not only that, they have their own instruments and effects, so you can process the sound as you want. Even better yet, they have inside the DAW, that is not as an external VST, an emulation of the OBXD and also DEXT, which is one of the most famous emulations of the DX7. It also has a lot of samples and whatnot, so as I said, you can start easily making songs with it. What's even better, DEXT and this OBXD emulation are really nice synthesizers, so you can also use these as a way to make your own sounds. Now, of course, before we continue, I have to state that there are paid versions for this. In fact, there are two price points, which are subscriptions. Now, as you can see, the limitations of the free version are not as much as you would expect. In fact, you can create a very nice full song just with the free stuff. Now, the premium version has more virtual instruments and effects. For instance, the Volt is their own synthesizer, but in the free version you have Volt Mini, and on the premium you get Volt Full. The same for things as the compressor, the EQ, and the distortion. Then for $3 more you get the Premium Plus AI, which, as you suspect, it has AI features, but I will talk about that at the end of the video. Consider joining my Patreon and my members page to get free presets, early access to videos, and also some surprises. So again, this is mostly for beginners, especially the free version, but the premium version also has its limitations if you compare it with other DAWs. For instance, you can create parallel tracks, as it doesn't have sense, and you don't have like a mixer view. As I mentioned earlier, I had the opportunity to talk with the team behind Amped, and they're very open in terms of criticism or suggestions. Not only that, they told me that they know they are not competing against something like Cubase or whatnot. The thing that I want is to make a DAW that's accessible for many people, that's why it's on the browser, and is straightforward, so you can start making your own beats, tracks, and music on it. Now, despite that, the paid version has many great devices. For instance, the other emulation they have is for the Prophet VS. And what I found interesting is that you can also play with Europa, or Europa, how you want to call it. That's right, the same synthesizer that you get on Reason. Sadly, you have to buy it separately. Still, the price that they offer is very low compared to other synthesizers that are equally powerful. But the downside is that you have to use it only on Amped. Now, at the beginning I said you can actually use VST plugins, and that will make it even better. Sadly, at least for me, this introduces latency issues only on the track with the VST plugin. Now, the VST plugin integration is also part of the free version, so if they fix the latency issue, it will make it a very nice alternative for a free DAW. Now, there are other features that make Amp Studio somewhat unique, and it shows for who it's aimed for. If you look at the page, you will see that they also want to make a community around Amp Studio. They want to give people the opportunity to make their own songs and instantly publish them and sell them. And honestly, that's a very interesting idea. Now, that's not it. Another reason on why this is a DAW, especially for beginners, is that they offer also song starters. These are projects for Amp Studio that will have a somewhat basic song, and I mean basic in terms of arrangement and not in terms of sound, that then you can start building other things around it. You can chop the sounds, add your own samples, add effects, other instruments, and change it into something completely different. Now, the song starters are paid for, but they are really cheap. In fact, as we speak, I'm building my own song starter that will be available on the webpage. Now, I know that maybe you don't want to pay for a song starter, and that's completely understandable. But still, it has other features that make it really interesting for production learning. For instance, as it's a DAW that's on your web browser, sharing different projects is very easy. Now, the last thing I want to talk about are the AI features. I know AI is a very controversial word right now. In fact, I even made a video about it right here. But still, this is not AI like Suno or anything that will make a full song for you. It's more something that will help you start making your own stuff. The same idea with the song starters apply to the AI that they are offering. It will create a song, but a very basic one, again in terms of arrangement. So, my thoughts? Well, this is a very interesting DAW, especially considering it's on your web browser. As a free DAW, it also has a lot of value, not only if you are starting to make music, but also, for instance, you are on vacation and you have an idea and you don't have anything to write it down. You can use Amped and it will be saved and you can open it in your home when you return and whatnot. Now, I think that it will be amazing if they implement more features for mixing as parallel chains and whatever else. And they also fix some small issues like the VST plugin latency or the automation not being able to snap. But of course, what matters the most are your thoughts about this, so let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, I will see you next time, and bye bye.